two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Trevor Scott, and with me, as always, is Ben Slinger.
Yes, I am here. Hello.
Hello.
What should we rock on with tonight, Trevor?
We were talking last week about, like, different games that we've played over the time, and one that we tried playing a couple of weeks ago was What Three Words, because we hadn't played it in a while, and it stopped working. Well, I researched it, and I found out what had to happen to it, and I fucking fixed it.
Yes. Long story short, you fixed it.
I fixed it.
So yeah, this is a game where we essentially take a random longitude and latitude in the world.
Yeah. And
using a service that has cut up the world into 3 by 3 meter chunks.
There is something like over 1 trillion different combinations of words out there.
Yes. So it gives each chunk 3 words as identifiers to be used by, however people want for being able to
for game designs. It's specifically for game designs.
That's it. I think they designed it for mostly this, our podcast, and using these words.
Not for telling an ambulance exactly where to go. No, giving three words.
Yeah.
No.
That's it. So we use them as prompt. As usual, they're just jumping off point. We use them for inspiration.
And so, Ben, I get to ask you a question that I haven't asked for a little while.
Yeah.
What 3 words?
These 3 words. Lusciously, pasting, redoing.
Oh, okay. Scrapbooking.
Yeah, or my mind went to paper mache.
Oh.
That could be interesting with
VR.
Paper mache in VR. I mean, it could be sort of a sculpting sort of thing.
Oh, I'm thinking, you got someone there and you're paper macheing their head. And so you're creating a mold over
someone
their
else
head
in VR.
Then, yeah. Oh, either someone else in VR. Oh, LiDAR. Like, all the VRs have LiDAR now, so you're walking around and you're getting LiDAR of the person that you're actually doing this to, and then you bring them in, and then you get to make a paper mache of their head. And
so, yeah, I mean,
fun.
it can be, I'm sure it can be soothing and, sort of chill to sit there dipping strips of paper into paste and pasting them
cleanup is easy
onto a shape.
Yeah. The cleanup is easy. We know that.
I mean, it's VR. You just turn it off.
Exactly. You turn it off and you take it off, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't have goopy fingers anymore.
It felt so real, those goopy fingers.
Yeah.
Don't eat the paste unless you're in VR. That's fine. One thing I was thinking that could be interesting, though, is using this as sort of a construction, like a way for building things, because there are limitations to paper mache, right? In that you generally...
It can't get wet.
It can't get wet, but even in building it, that you generally have to have like a hole to pull out whatever you're, if you want it to be hollow inside. Sometimes, often one of the things to do is you do it with a balloon, right? And you pop the balloon once you're done.
So if you do it on a person, then you got to sort of liquefy the insides to get the person out.
Well, or just that there's enough. So
you cover
hole.
The inside in lye. I believe that breaks down body.
Eventually, yeah. Or at least you create a little pinhole in the top and drip it in slowly.
And drip in acid, yeah.
Yeah, this is paper mache saw edition.
Yeah. They can't do anything because you've put them in, an Iron Maiden at the same time.
I mean, they have to stay still.
Oh, but you got to be careful. If you're putting acid in, that's wet. We need to come up with something better for liquefying these people.
Okay. I mean, ants.
Oh,
if you get like flesh-eating ants, drop them in there.
I mean, we know the Egyptians were actually very good at getting like the brain out through the nose. Like you could just put like a hook up the nose and then swirl it around a little bit, and then you can pull it out.
Yeah, so I mean that's one way to get their brains out, and then once their brains are out, you can maybe collapse the rest of their body down. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, obviously, if they haven't drunk a lot of milk, their bones aren't going to be strong. So that may be, is that something that we can do? We can have like a simulation where you don't give them enough vitamin D and calcium.
Yeah, I think we have sliders for how much vitamin D and calcium they've had recently.
And how long they've been in the pit.
How long they've been in the model pit. And look, bones, once they've dried out and been dead for a long time, are very brittle and can probably break. So, like, you could just leave them in there for long enough.
Bone dust.
Yeah, leave them there for long enough. It might take a while for you to finish your cosplay that you're using this paper mache for, but you'll get them out of a very small hole.
But it's very realistic.
You'll have a much smaller hole. Cool. Cosplay paper mache serial killer edition. 3, 2, 1. What 3 words, Trevor?
Polymer reconstructs barges.
Okay. For a second there, I was going to keep going with the last game. It's just instead of using paper mache, you're using like some sort of polymer. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay,
but they reconstruct barges.
Is interesting.
I like that because I'm picturing like the Pacific Ocean.
Okay,
immense ocean everywhere. Yep. It feels like Waterworld, but it's not.
Yeah, well, I'm sure when you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, it feels like Waterworld. Yeah, that's what everyone says.
Yeah, because there's nothing around.
Yeah.
You can't see land anywhere because, as it turns out, the world is round. And if you don't have land anywhere near you, you can't see shit.
Sounds like fake news. The world is round.
So, I like the idea that you're on this barge, but like there's something eating at the barge. And so you've got to continually like use some science kits to make new polymers to enhance the strength of your barge.
Okay.
As the plastic eating bacteria eat through the...
Well, I was thinking I could see this as almost as a horror game. Can you imagine like being on this sort of slow moving cross oceanic barge?
Mm-hmm.
And some sort of creature starts like attacking you, but like not in a big way. It's just like shit. They're coming in through the bottom. They've put a hole in. Like we've got a leak. Okay, we patched that leak. Like oh shit, they're coming in elsewhere. Like little gremlin things or like something that's whatever. You come up with something creepy.
You just want to wake up like you're in your little shack thing on the barge. You wake up and you see this massive tentacle that you then look back and it's like it's gone. Like just corner the eye sort of stuff.
Sneaky Kraken.
Sneaky Kraken. Just
title of the episode.
Get Kraken.
Get Kraken on that sneaky Kraken. But no, I think a horror game, like especially like you said, where you're a scientist on a boat.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a corporate shipping thing, but you're working for this company.
I think it's really funny. You were working for this company and they're like, yeah, just go out to the barge and just check on it. And they thought that you were off and, you were actually just quickly checking one last thing and they set it off.
Well, okay. You could, Or, I mean, it could be something like, they fly you in on a helicopter. Like it's got a helipad. Like it's one of these huge things. You get flown in because it's like, something's happened. And the past
scientist is no longer responding.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so you've just up to this point been like a lab, in the lab for this company. And you're inventing new polymers and you're inventing things because there's some big tech company. But they need someone to go out there because they have to have a scientist on board these boats because, like, they're shipping like new products and they need to make sure that like they can resist the different temperatures or like whatever. You come up with some technobabble.
So are we thinking this is actually like a full on ship sort of thing, rather than a floating garbage raft?
Well, I mean, I think barge is just a big
container ship sort of thing.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's.
What if it's all automated?
I guess it's maybe more for canals and rivers. It says here, but a long flat bottom boat. But this is it. We're just using it as a jumping off point. So I'm thinking maybe like one of these big shipping container ships, basically.
So it's fully automated. Except for the fact that what they've realized is they need someone on board because these things that they're shipping, are rather fragile. They need someone someone there and they have to have a certain degree because,
I think it's maybe, I was going to say it's one of these things where it does make, I think you definitely want minimal people on there from sort of a gameplay perspective and the horror perspective. So I think it is automated, but they have like a skeleton crew in case something goes wrong, basically. Yeah. But maybe they're dead before you get there. Maybe you get there and they're literal skeleton crew because they've been dead and their flesh has been eaten.
But I like the idea of you don't see that straight away.
No.
All you see is this is literally a ghost ship, and it's still going. It's still pedaling along. You wake up the next morning and you see out of the corner of your eye like a big sucker on like the porthole sort of thing. And then you look again and it's not there, and it's just
I love the idea of, and this is always tricky, because I'm picturing this as first person.
100%.
You have it like they hear something, and as they turn, it disappears quickly, but you see like the residue of the sucker marks on there, and they just slowly fade because of the the vacuum that they created. Just a little, and
I'm seeing slime, the slime trail that just gradually evaporates, and there's something about like there's a floating robot that sort of follows you around and you can sort of talk to as
that's a bit of a classic thing, yeah. And
kind of like the thing from Destiny, but with a little bit more bulk.
Yeah, or from like Portal 2. One of the little.
I'm thinking more along the lines of, the big multi-arm robots from Fallout 4.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. Along those sort of lines, they're your Imperial probe droids. With, personality.
Yeah, that's cool. And I think you spend, essentially you spend some time looking for the crew that you expect to be there. You're like, oh, they must, they don't have much to do. I guess they just hang out in their quarters or whatever. Better go tell them I'm here.
There's a lot of bulkhead
you go through different you can't get through certain areas, and you could do it as a bit of one of those sort of horror puzzle games. There was one almost not similar in the monster stuff, but it was set on like a oil rig. I can't remember what it's called. It was very much this sort of first person atmospheric, almost walking sim in a sense. Although the modern way of it being just lots of good first-person animation and it was almost just an adventure game at that point. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I liked it.
I really like it. And when I say that there's like a locked bulkhead, I'm thinking it's more electronically locked. Like, so everything's kind of working. There's nothing really rusted shut or anything like that. This boat looks pristine.
Yeah.
But you don't have access to go here. But you've been told by the company that you have full access to every area on the ship. And so you got that extra little thing of
the mystery of what's happening,
of what's here. And when you get in there, that's where the skeleton crew is.
Yeah.
And it's also, you can see that something has actually broken out.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And that's actually the thing that is now attached to the bottom of the boat. And it's...
Oh, that's cool. You have to maybe end up scubaing down under the boat, and because I'm just picturing it then coming out of you start seeing it through the depths, and then you see this thing just like latched onto the bottom of the boat. That's cool.
Yeah.
Would you like some more words, Trevor?
I really enjoy that. You know what, Ben? What 3 words?
Suburbs.
Yeah.
Overzealous.
Ooh.
Issued.
Ooh. Okay.
So this might be a good one where I can bring up the idea that I was kind of thinking of.
Okay, nice.
So,
yeah, just for listeners, Ben told me, but just before we started, that he had an idea that he was potentially going to pitch.
Well, this is not,
but he wasn't going to tell me, so I didn't get any.
No, Trevor doesn't know
indications. So.
Hey, look, it's nothing. Yeah. It's nothing huge, and it's not even a game idea. It's the idea of a particular trope and using it in a slightly different area. So the trope of like in the cop shows and stuff, they're working the investigation and then the fucking feds show up and like try to take the investigation off them, and there's the real... I want to bring that idea over to something silly and mundane.
Okay, nice.
So maybe they're fucking like gardeners or something. And it's like, oh shit, the feds are here. And it's like the next level up of gardeners. Like whatever that looks like for gardeners or fucking mailmen or whatever it is.
It's the federal post office here.
The federal post office. It's FedEx. Fuck. The feds are here. It's FedEx, the private company.
Okay, I love that. I really love that. Okay. Suburbs and overzealous. I'm thinking this could
just be this could be the dark, like the seedy underground of mail delivery, you know?
I mean, it doesn't even need to be something like that. It could literally just be your local council comes by and then all of a sudden the state government comes in and is like, oh crap.
Well, I want to keep it to something, and even mail sort of is almost too realistic. I want it to be something where there's not a federal version of this. There's not a next level, but like that trope. You know, what fun suburban jobs are there that,
Okay, let's just list off some fun suburban jobs. And so you got painters.
Okay. You got plasterers.
Landscapers.
Okay. I mean, you've got the mailmen, and they do, you know, they do their job.
Milkmen.
You've got crop dusters.
Garbage men.
Yes. Teachers.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Librarians.
Ooh, librarians is good. What sort of tasks would they have that, like, when they can't handle the feds, the Fed librarians have to show up in their fucking suits and
there's these books aren't in order of the Dewey Decimal System. Oh shit! You said the wrong words, and the feds come in. Federal Library Investigators, FLI.
Just they've come. You haven't managed to get an overdue book back from someone. That goes back to our very first episode, I think. With Victoria knowledge. So
we're not going to go into the more problematic things. About Victoria knowledge.
We'll leave that in our past. But
yes.
I mean, she was almost the Fed version of a librarian. She was going around with her fucking stamp and
investigating who actually has the overdue books and had her stamp and maybe might have killed a few people. We don't know.
We don't know.
It's all coming back to me now.
Maybe like a sports coach. I mean, even they have the next level. I'm trying to think, like, now that I think about it, a lot of there's sort of is that like higher level of thing. Although generally they don't swoop
you've got pest inspectors.
Okay, that could be something like that. Could be cool. Or exterminators, basically.
Exterminators, yeah.
Oh, that's good actually, because then the feds are like fucking. They've got like a SWAT team come. You know, they're like
they've got a nuclear
got the
option,
funding,
and it.
Yeah.
I mean, the nuclear option literally takes out every bug within, a 6 mile radius of.
It's just a nuke. It's a bug nuke instead of a bug bomb. Okay. So
it's just a bigger raid can.
it's the house sized. It's like a fucking silo, like a water tower.
It comes flying in with like 4 huge helicopters, and they just drop a
bug bomb.
And then they put a big dome over it's literally under the dome, but it's like, we gotta keep it in there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm liking this. So I think you then obviously play just like a local exterminator. You've got your little business.
Yeah.
And maybe we even do some levels of where it's like, okay, you get to go into the house and you've got your little handbook of what to look for what sort of pests might be there, and then how to deal
termites,
with that.
You've got your
termites, you've got your rodents, you've got your fucking snakes that got loose or something. I don't know, like how far an exterminator goes, but spider infestations,
And I think you can even go that extra little step forward of, this looks like a fly infestation, but then when you look into it a little bit further, it's like, oh no, you've got a dead body under your porch.
Right. Yeah.
And It doesn't have to be
that's
human.
Not when the feds come in.
Else.
That's just that's for the police to deal with. But
so when the feds come in is when they detect fruit fly. Because we know how bad fruit fly can be.
Is this because it's a quarantine sort of issue? It's like
a quarantine situation because someone's brought fruit across the border that they shouldn't have, and they brought fruit fly into the town.
Okay,
and so they
hermetically
seal.
I do like this idea that it's whether it's fruit fly or something else, but it's the type of bug. Like it's a bug that's not supposed to be there.
It's ladybugs,
or that is particularly dangerous. Yeah, like maybe it is a bug that we have. It's not that. It's just that this infestation is out of control. It's Slater. That's like a controversial one because the number of names for that bug is.
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you seen? You need to watch the latest Smarty Pants episode because I think it was Mike Trapp's one had a whole section on. It was about regional
names for isopods.
Yeah, for that particular type of isopod, I believe, because I don't think it's because I think an isopod is a category, right? Yeah, like wood lice,
I was smart.
Butchie boys is what I used to call them. Roly polies, like they've got all these names in different places of the country and the world.
Yeah.
But that could be a good joke in there. Like you can bring that in. Have a little bit of dialogue between you and your partner or whatever about what you call them.
I mean, I always called them Slaters because that's what we called him in this part of Moorook.
It is so regional though, because this is the thing. I called them Butchie Boys. Like that was.
And you grew up a kilometre or 3 kilometres down the road.
Yes, not far. It'd be interesting to track the differences between
the etymology of
regionalizations. But yeah, I think I like this idea of, and as regular listeners would know, the deductive style of things really appeals to us, but like having it be almost this investigative thing where you are looking for certain signs and matching them up to what's in your book or discovering them or having to do a bit of research about them and how to deal with them.
Yeah, I like the idea of, you get called out to a call and all they're saying is we're hearing some scratching from inside the walls. It's like, okay, so that can be possums, it can be rats, it can be mice, it can be,
Yep. So maybe you can get out your
dead husband.
Your scope.
Your
husband, did you say?
Like
ghouls is in the book. It's in the handbook.
It's in the handbook.
There was one time.
Dave wouldn't shut up about it.
You never think it's ghouls, but sometimes it's ghouls.
Sometimes
it's like House with lupus.
Yeah, exactly. Is it ghouls? No, it's not.
It's not ghouls, except for that one time when it was ghouls. It's never ghouls.
Okay, I really love this. Okay, so first person deductive game. You get called out to a place. Do you have to drive to the place?
I mean, I guess it depends how open world you want to go. We don't have to make this game, so sure.
No, I'm thinking about how do we do it that isn't making the game, but it's because I like the idea of this is potentially able to be made by an indie developer, so we don't go open.
No, so then I think it's more just you show up to the case. It's almost a picture it
kind of like the Phasmophobia thing where you kind of turn up and it's like, this is your mission this time.
Yes. Yeah. Or even a bit like those house flipper games and stuff, right? Where it's just like, okay, here's the house and maybe you can even procedurally generate it. I know that they don't in those games, but
yeah,
you could.
Or it's kind of like the Power Wash simulator where it's like, here is a level and this is what you're currently dealing with.
Yeah, by tracking down, okay, there's this sort of like nest that's been built in this corner. Yeah. It could be some sort of wasp or it could be, a spider nest or something, and you have to look up the diagrams of it and maybe you've got different tools. Maybe as you go, you get to buy different tools, right? Oh, now you've got a computer in your truck that you can look up more things on.
Yeah, now this heat signature doesn't actually match this type of wasp. It's actually
you've got
this other type of wasp, and that's actually good for the environment. And so therefore, you don't want to actually.
It helps the pests or whatever. Yeah. you've got your temperature gun or whatever, so you can see, oh, that is a human shape in the wall. Your husband's stuck.
Yeah.
Versus, a cat.
Have you not noticed that he hasn't been around since you put the wall up? Oh,
it's like, turns out she plastered him in on purpose, and then forgot about it somehow. I guess because called the exterminators.
She hit it.
She didn't expect him to still be alive after all that time.
You see a banana peel and like, a little bit of blood on the ground. It's like, oh, she slipped on the banana peel, hit her head, and now she's got a concussion, and she doesn't actually.
That's part of what you have to figure out.
She doesn't realize that
so stupid.
She's actually lost a little bit of her mind. And if you didn't,
I want to put that in one of those deductive games now of just like someone's not making sense. You have to end up noticing the banana peel and like blood dropping on the ground. That would be cool, actually, a game where you're having to deduce very cartoonish, like the aftermath of very cartoonish injuries. It's like, oh, wait, there's an anvil-shaped hole in the roof.
And you got to almost reverse engineer the Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah, or like the Looney Tunes, You show up and there's a person-shaped hole in the door, and you have to figure out why they ran through it.
I can imagine there being, those sort of incredible machine or whatever things where it actually started another residence, like 2 doors down, and, they launched something out of a catapult that went through and, hit the beanbag and launched that person out.
That's it. And having to reverse
and through the firewire.
That could be really cool, actually. Like these just completely ridiculous situations, and you get called in when no one else can solve it because you've got the mind for like, you're half toon.
We haven't had a half tune since Judge Doom.
Yeah, we all know what happened to him.
Melted.
That's fine.
God, I so want to watch
moved away from
Who Framed so much more. Like, I haven't seen it.
I should watch that again.
I have 2 here.
Okay, let's move on from.
I don't know which one I want to do because we've only got time for one more, but I like them both. So I'm gonna do say both,
all right,
and you can choose which one.
Well, we'll just cherry pick the words that inspire us, I think.
Simmers intensely intimal.
Intimal?
Yeah.
What does that mean? What do you mean?
I'm considering it as intimate.
Okay. I mean, maybe it sounds
enough.
Similar. Intimal. No, it's apparently the innermost coat of an organ. No, that's intima. No, I don't know. Oh, yeah. Intimal is relating to that, so whatever.
Yeah. And then the other set of words was mid-level, isometric, bodybuilders.
Ooh.
And I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's
got so much game stuff.
I know already. It's like, ooh, isometric bodybuilders.
Isometric, like a gym, like building. I don't know if there's been like gym building.
Yeah.
Games that could be cool. What can you bring into?
So I'm sort of thinking, for some reason I'm thinking like California on the beach, and you're building up like your gym equipment, and you got to like have space in between them to make sure that people are actually running and doing all the things, and just making sure that you've got enough room there for people to be roller skating and doing all the stuff that they need to do. But it's outdoor gyms.
I'm gonna do something here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. Well, the first thing was definitely storylets, because I feel like if you're bringing in customers, one thing that
repeat customers.
Well, that's it. And one thing that a lot of these management games don't do very well is you never have a connection to the customers. They're just random stats walking in the door.
They're faceless.
So
pretty much.
Yes, I think if you had more personality,
you never know if there is a returning customer because they all look the same.
Yeah, that's it. But if we have a bit more personality, still procedurally generated, but with these stories that continue, as they come back, it triggers off another kind of little story bit.
In other words, we want an average Joe's gym compared to a Globo gym.
I mean, either way, maybe it could be either, depending on the way that you handle storylets or choose which customers or choose to build your gym. But we want the option.
I'm just happy that I remembered the name of the gyms from Dodgeball.
Yes.
A true underdog story.
A true underdog story. Well, that's it. But I think that could be fun to do. Okay, is this a really slick gym just for, people who are high level, and you turn people away who aren't fit enough?
And then you got your mid levels, which are it's judging based on here's your average sort of people, but as they want to get better and get a little bit more into it.
Well, and I think you can have factors then of, okay, like people who are particularly fit are maybe more likely to come back more often because they want to keep that up. So you got recurring revenue. You maybe do have the whole like street value kind of thing. If people see hot, sexy people working out in the window, then they're more likely to come in.
So I don't know whether you know this, Ben, but turns out that's all just a scam.
Oh, yeah.
They hire models to literally just work out.
To just work out all
the time.
I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised.
Because they don't want to, people don't want to see the usual gym clientele, which is just, fat guys like me.
Yeah.
At the gym. No. So they get the real muscly
Trevor,
people and they pay them lots of
wants
money.
To see that.
No, I don't want to see that.
And that can be maybe you can hire models for your window in this game. But I think we can have the balance. We can have the things here of it's like the good sides, the good things that a gym can do to support people and be inclusive, and the bullshit, sort of funny but horrible Globo gym style, cynical. We only care about hot people kind of side of things. That could be a fun little game. The other thing I was potentially going to bring in, which is what I was getting at the beginning, was the Nemesis system and whether it would work for this. But I don't know if that would work here.
The trainer system.
Yeah, the trainers. Maybe it's the trainers.
So as you go through, your character comes across a trainer and they're like, "Oi, you haven't done enough cardio," and they're like,
oh, so it's not, it's not your nemesis as the gym owner. It's the relationships between you, the trainers, and the customers, and there's memory there, and there's particular folk. Okay, I mean, you almost get that from the story anyway, honestly.
And really, if the trainer has gotten someone to throw up, that client is going to be kind of scared of that.
Yeah.
That trainer, and that trainer's going to go, there's some easy prey. And the idea being that, if they can push through it and get through it, they level up and get to the next trainer sort of thing, because that trainer has nothing more to teach them. Got a little bit, bit different and a little bit of story.
You do. There. Yeah. I think you get some of that from storylets anyway, in a sense, and this is why I want to build with them eventually. Having a pool of NPCs that essentially, based on certain criteria, can have stories happen between them. That's really cool.
Yeah.
And just a cool mix.
Kevin and Carly are now dating because
that's it. And then
they've had a baby. Did you hear that?
That's such a cool mix of procedural generation stuff with handwritten stories, right? I want to build that.
But unfortunately, Carly caught Kevin cheating on her with Carla.
Yeah. Carly and Carla? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Carly and Carla.
Sounds like a sitcom in the making.
It really is.
I think that's all we've got time for tonight. So if you'd like to find our previous episodes online, go to podchaser.com/bitstorm. They're all there. Give them a listen, leave a review, whatever you want. Let us know what you thought.
And if you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance of the album Containment Failure by the band Dust. We didn't always use it. We used to use a different song.
Also by the band Dust.
Also by Dust, because we were part of that band, and it's just it's free.
Yeah, we can use it.
And you can also download it for free. The other song I'm pretty sure we used was Heavy Space, and that was from the album Initialize. I think we got the reinitialized version though.
I think I don't think Initialize is even up there, is it? Anyway. It's also up there on Bandcamp.
If it was reinitialized, I played on it. If it was initialized, I didn't play on it.
Yeah.
Because we redubbed my bass because I wasn't originally part of the band.
That's right.
Anyway, enough reminiscing.
Yeah. So, thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
3, 2, 1, dodge, drop, no, I don't remember the things. The 5 Ds.
Yeah.
Dodge,
dip, dive.
Isn't dodge in there twice?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, the first and last.
Dodge, dip, dive, dank, and dodge. I don't know.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, stop.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, stop.